What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. As basketball season approaches for college basketball, I figured I'd go ahead and put out a video about it. Um, and I'll just kind of go over, if I'm gonna do anything, and if I do, how I'm gonna, approach it. Because, as most of you probably know, there's when it comes to college football, there's FCS and FBS, and obviously we don't cover FCS because there's just too many schools, and FCS isn't as important as FBS is. And kind of the same thing goes with college basketball. Um, there's like 350 plus D1 basketball teams. Like, I'm not making that up. So it would almost be impossible for me to try to pick a winner for every single game. So with that being said, I'll probably target, some of the bigger games. Obviously, Power 4 schools, maybe Power 5. I'll just have to kind of see how the season goes. But I'll go ahead and just, get into what I was going to do, and then we'll go from there. So this is something we'll probably do, weekly, like we do with football. And I'll always include the AP poll. This is preseason, so again, all this will change after about week one. Some of these schools probably won't do as well as others. Then you have schools like St. John's who's playing Alabama, so we'll see what happens. So here's your AP poll preseason. If you're listening to the background, I'll read them off to you. Purdue, Houston, Florida, UConn, St. John's, Duke, Michigan, BYU, Kentucky, Texas Tech, Louisville, UCLA, Arizona, Arkansas, Alabama, Iowa State, Illinois, Tennessee, Kansas, Auburn, Gonzaga, Michigan State, Creighton, and then Wisconsin and North Carolina in that order. So, again, with preseason, never really take it seriously. I mean, we see that with college football right now. The top 25 preseason poll honestly was horrendous. They had Texas at like number 2 or 3, like in the top 5. Obviously, they haven't been doing well. Same with UConn. I mean, not UConn, Penn State. So, never really listen to the AP poll preseason. Once season starts, then you can listen to it probably. So, a lot to do on this. Now, I'm going to say this right now. The weekly schedule I'm going to try to run this on is Monday through Sunday, and then that next Monday would start a new week. So right here I have November 3rd, 2025 to November 9th, 2025, that Monday after Halloween to the Sunday that next weekend. So game start Monday. The earliest game is at 8 a.m. It's Queens and somebody else in a tip-off tournament kind of thing. So if you guys are desperately wanting basketball, I'd say probably take Monday off. So for reference, there are 352 D1 men's basketball teams according to NCAA. So that's put out by NCAA. So that's just the number we're going to go with. Because, well, it's the NCAA. So here are your tip-off tournaments, all your tournaments, challenges, all the other things that are hosted. Again, I don't have the teams for every single one of these, just because, there's a lot of them. First one is the Field of 68 Opening Day Marathon. Now, when I was scrolling through ESPN, the app, I did not see 68 teams total through week one this marathon. I don't know if it's a multi-week thing or not, but, just have that there. One of the big ones that's usually going on, not big schools, but usually competitive basketball off the start, is your MAC and Sun Belt Conference Challenge, where Sun Belt plays MAC and MAC plays Sun Belt. Hall of Fame series is in Baltimore, and they have one in Las Vegas as well. Those would be good games. The Dick Vitale Invitational would be good as well. Veterans Classic. You have the Villanova Challenge, which I think might be new this year. The Big 5 Classic Campus Game. Basketball Hall of Fame Tip-Off. There's the Bad Boy Mowers Series in Spokane. You have the Waterkeeper Lions Invitational and the ASUN and SoCon Challenge. Again, this is not all of them through the whole season, so don't if you think I'm missing one, I'm not. It's just through week 1. And like I said, when I said it would be too hard to keep up, this number up here is how many games are through just 9 days. 464 games. And no, I'm not making that up. There are schools who play other schools. Just, they pay them big bucks. And they show up, they play. And the story, I think there's a Christian school for women playing one of these games. Which, how that, I mean, there's just bunch. It's probably D2, D3, and some JUCOs. Going out, getting paid, and playing just so that way these teams can get off to their start. So, and last thing, real quick, and then I'll talk a little bit more. Here's your big games. Like I said, there's not a whole lot, but to start the season off, we have some good ones. Monday, Florida versus Arizona at 7 p.m. All these times are going to be Eastern time. I still wrote them on there just in case. Villanova versus BYU at 9:30 p.m. Texas versus Duke, 8:45 on Tuesday. And then you got to skip a couple days to go to Friday. Georgetown versus Maryland at 6. And Kansas versus North Carolina at 7. Saturday, Alabama versus St. John's at noon. Providence versus Georgia Tech at 4. Arkansas versus Michigan at 7. And Oklahoma versus Gonzaga at 10:30. Gonna have to start picking between basketball and football, ladies and gentlemen. And personally, I'm gonna pick basketball. I've always been a basketball, guru. And then Sunday, there's Marquette versus Indiana at 1 p.m. So, but like I said, I'm a basketball guru more than I am football. I'll be sitting there and I don't want to say playing coach, but I'll just be like, oh, if I was a coach, I'd do that, or if I was a player, I'd do this. I played basketball from 3rd grade to my sophomore year of high school. So, I've been around the game, long enough to, know a general idea, I hope, of, just some of the basics. And like I said, when about covering the Power 4 conferences and maybe even Power 5, depending on how the season goes. If you have a favorite school, a college that you would like me to talk about, whether it be in the MAC, the Sun Belt, SoCon, Mountain West, Missouri Valley, Ohio Valley, any of those conferences that are not a Power 4 or Power 5, comment it below, and I'll probably just make a big list, and we can just add to the list over the season, and I'll just make sure to talk about those, because if I talked about every college, we'd be here for probably like an hour. Now I'm sure some people might like listening to college sports for an hour, but I don't really have the space on my phone to do that, and nor do I really have time to allow YouTube to upload the video for, I don't know how long it'd take, probably several hours. I could go live with it, but I don't know how many people would actually be able to watch it live, especially if it just came out spur of the moment. So you just let me know what you guys would want in the comments. But like I said, if you follow a school that's not a Power 4 school, like I follow Illinois State because that was my local school. They were D1 in the Missouri Valley Conference. I won't bore you guys talking about them, okay? I'm still going to keep up with them, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about them because that's not what a whole lot of people are after. But like I said, if you follow a school, you like a school that's not a Power 4, comment it in the comments below. And like I said, I'll make a big list and go over those schools specifically, probably in the middle or at the end of the videos. You guys just have to, let me know. I know a lot of you probably like the SEC, ACC, Big 10, or Big 12 schools. Like I know Paulie's a Washington fan, Big 12, not Big 12, Big 10. So, it just, and then Johnny is a Tennessee fan in the SEC. So, yeah. So, like I said, if you got a team, just let me know, and I talk about them if you want. I don't mind. So, I think that's it. So, and of course, as we go along, I'll put up some cards up here. Um, I don't have a whole lot of basketball, but I do have enough that I could probably put some up here every now and then. And these basketball videos will probably come out Sundays, like I said, and then I'll put the college football game or college football videos probably out on Mondays or Tuesdays, probably Tuesdays. That way, I'm not having back to back talk videos. Don't want to bore you guys too much. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And until next time, guys, see ya. And hopefully you guys' basketball teams do well this season.